The defendants in the trial say its outcome could decide the future of free dissent in the United States. Tonight, let's meet three of those defendants: Abbie Hoffman, the Yippie leader; John Freunds, a chemistry professor; and David Dellinger. He's a 53-year-old pacifist in the Quaker tradition.
I think we're being tried with carrying a state of mind across the state border. And it's a very unusual law, and we're the first ones to be tried under it. We're doing quite well. I think we win every single day but the last. If it wasn't for the law, we'd win hands down, because you've seen their case. It's all never-neverland of insanity that only the U.S. government and the city of Chicago can dwell in.
If there is rising dissent about the war in Vietnam, Nixon has two choices. Nixon can either stop the war, therefore getting rid of the dissent, or Nixon can repress that dissent. What Nixon's clearly chosen to do has been to repress that dissent. So in fact, these indictments become one example, and only one example of many, of the kind of broad-based repression which is being created by the Nixon administration. But I was very happy to have been indicted with the other 7 persons who I consider to be outstanding individuals, the most creative individuals in the movement at this point. And I felt that this trial would give us an avenue, provide an avenue by which we could speak out more firmly about those issues which brought us to Chicago in the first place.
I mean, we're saying that we're not ashamed of anything that we did in Chicago. We're not ashamed of the way we conduct our lives in between the Chicagos that hit the headlines, that what we're about is an alternative way of living. And we believe in that way of life. And if the government wants to call it a conspiracy, well, right on. Conspiracy means to breathe together. And it seems like a groovy thing. I mean, you meet some nice people in a conspiracy. All people are like coming from all over the country to like visit us at the courthouse. They send us mail to the conspiracy care of the Federal Building, Chicago, Illinois.
It sounds trite, but I believe in the brotherhood of all human beings. And when people, because they didn't have the opportunities that I had, were being denied the opportunity to eat, to have a decent living place, to bring up their children without risk of permanent disease, I decided the hell with the summa cum laudes and whatever else they called it. I want to identify with the people who are struggling for justice and decency in life. Secondly, as far as the Yippies are concerned, the Yippies, their lifestyle is different than mine. But I consider Abbie Hoffman and Jerry Rubin inspired critics of the kind of society that we have.
It's a revolution primarily first in consciousness. War will be won in terms of head counts, not body counts. And we have to convince a majority of people that there's another way of life, that there's a possibility of founding a nation dedicated to human values rather than property values. I think that's the one thing that the 8 of us have in common, that we reject capitalism as a form of human relationship.
Are you a communist?
Well, if you would define it, I would not be ashamed to be one. I'm not quite sure what it is.
Are you a Marxist or a Marxist-Leninist?
Marxist and a John Leninist, yeah. Sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't read.
Listen, Abbie,
all I would do is watch TV commercials. I don't read, so I don't know. I guess I'm a Marxist. Why not?